It's the end of the month. Your paycheck hit your account a couple of weeks ago. You don't feel reckless with money. You're not buying yachts or Lamborghinis. You're just living. Rent got paid. Groceries were a little higher than usual. A couple of subscriptions here. A dinner out because honestly, you were tired. And the credit card bill shows up and you're staring at your bank app thinking, where did it all go? You make decent money. On paper, you should be fine. But somehow, you're stuck in this weird middle zone where you're not broke, but you're definitely not getting ahead. If that feels uncomfortably familiar, yeah, that's not an accident. Introduction. My name is Peter, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, behavior, and why smart people stay financially stuck. If you're someone who earns a solid income but feels like building real wealth is way harder than it should be, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're talking about the 4 hidden money traps that quietly keep the middle class broke. Not obvious stuff. Not stop buying coffee nonsense. I'm talking about structural, psychological traps that feel normal, responsible even, but absolutely destroy long-term wealth. And here's the thing. Most people don't realize they're in these traps until decades have passed. Look, we're told a simple story about money. If you earn more, you'll eventually get rich. But the data says otherwise. According to the Federal Reserve, over 50% of households earning $75,000 to $150,000 still can't handle a $1,000 emergency without stress. That's not a low-income problem. That's a middle-class problem. So if earning more isn't solving it, what is actually going on? Here's what most people don't realize. The middle class doesn't lose money dramatically. They lose it quietly, logically, and slowly. Let's break down how. Lifestyle stability that quietly grows faster than income. Here's the thing. Lifestyle inflation is talked about a lot, but this is more subtle. This isn't about luxury. It's about stability creep. You upgrade apartments, not to be fancy, but to feel settled. You buy a reliable car, not flashy, just safe. You choose convenience because your time feels more valuable now. None of these decisions feel irresponsible. But let's do the math. Say you get a raise from $70,000 to $85,000. After taxes, that's roughly $900 more per month. Now watch how fast it disappears. $300 more in rent, $150 higher car payment, $120 in upgraded insurance, $100 more, eating out $80 in subscriptions, services, and quality of life upgrades. That's $750 gone. You feel richer, but your wealth-building capacity barely moved. Now here's the psychological trap. Your brain anchors to your new baseline. So cutting back later feels like going backward, even if you're objectively fine. This is why middle-class budgets feel tight at almost any income level. The lifestyle becomes fixed, but income is fragile. This is where it gets really interesting. When income drops, layoff, burnout, medical issue. Expenses don't adjust automatically. Wealthy people design flexibility. Middle-class systems assume permanence. Action step. Immediate. Freeze your lifestyle for 12 months after your next raise. Route 50 to 70% of raises directly into investments or debt reduction before you feel it. Not after. Before. Trap number 2. Overvaluing safety and undervaluing control. Now you might be thinking, Peter, I'm just being responsible. I want security. Totally fair. But here's what most people don't realize. The middle class often buys the illusion of safety instead of actual control. Let me explain. The average middle-class financial plan looks like this. Stable job, employer retirement account, mortgage insurance for everything. On the surface, responsible. But look closer. Your income depends on one employer. Your retirement depends on markets you don't control. Your biggest asset, your house, is illiquid. That's not safety. That's concentration risk. Compare that to how wealthy households operate. They diversify income before diversifying investments. Multiple income streams, flexible assets, liquidity buffers. According to IRS data, over 65% of millionaires have at least 3 income sources. The middle class usually has one. Here's the analogy. You're sitting on a sturdy chair, but it only has one leg. It works until it doesn't. The psychology behind this trap. Humans overvalue predictability. We mistake familiarity for safety. A paycheck feels safer than an investment, even if the paycheck can disappear overnight. This is why people cling to jobs they hate, delay investing, and resist entrepreneurship, even small scale. Action step, immediate. Build one additional income stream that is independent of your employer, scalable, even slightly skill-based or asset-based, not to quit your job. To reduce psychological dependa, the good debt lie that slows wealth to a crawl. Debt isn't always bad, but the way the middle class uses good debt is deeply flawed. Here's the common belief. As long as the interest rate is low, it's fine. But math doesn't care about labels. Let's say you carry $25,000 in car loans, $12,000 in credit cards, $30,000 in student loans. Even at a blended 6%, that's over $4,000 per year in interest. That's money that can never compound for you. Now compare that to investing. If you invested $4,000 per year for 30 years at 8%, you'd have over $450,000. This is where it gets really interesting. Middle-class households often optimize monthly payments, not total cost. They ask, "Can I afford this per month?" Wealthy people ask, "What is this costing my future self?" Same decision, completely different outcome. Psychological force at work. Present bias. Your brain heavily discounts future pain. A $600 car payment today feels manageable, but the lost compounding over 20 years is invisible. Until it's too late. Action step, immediate. List every debt with balance interest rate monthly payment, total interest paid over life. Seeing the full cost often changes behavior instantly. One might sting a little. The middle class celebrates income milestones. $75,000, $100,000, $150,000. But income is temporary. Wealth is what stays when income stops. According to the Federal Reserve, median net worth of households earning $100,000 plus is still under $250,000. Many are one job loss away from regression. Here's what most people don't realize. Your net worth doesn't grow linearly with income. It grows when behavior changes. Saving your first $10,000 requires discipline. Saving your next $100,000 requires systems. Building millions requires leverage, patience, and restraint. Most people never cross the first psychological threshold. They earn more, but live as if income will always be there. Income is like water flowing into a bathtub. Net worth is how much stays when the drain is open. Middle-class households increase flow, but never fix the drain. Track net worth quarterly, not income monthly. Set goals like first $50,000 invested, first year of expenses saved, first asset that pays you monthly income supports wealth. It is not wealth. Let's recap the 4 traps. Lifestyle stability creep that locks in high expenses. False safety through single-source income. Good debt rationalization that kills compounding income obsession instead of net worth focus. None of these make you feel irresponsible. That's why they're so dangerous. They feel normal. Look, if you've made some of these mistakes, good. That means you're normal. But awareness changes everything. Wealth isn't about intelligence. It's about designing systems that work even when motivation fades. If this video helped you see money differently, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this content matters. Subscribe if you want clear, honest financial education without hype. And ask yourself this one question today. Is my money buying comfort or buying freedom? Because the middle class buys comfort first. The wealthy delay it and buy time instead. I'll see you in the next one.